Yesterday in the House of Commons, I rose on a point of order that was asking the Speaker to investigate a potential claim of homophobic slur or remark that was made. I know many Canadians are troubled by this. They're troubled by it because they see what's manifesting in the House of Commons in their streets. I know this deeply and personally from my community of Edmonton-Griesbach. We see it, whether it's schools, playgrounds, or even sports. We're seeing the 2S LGBTQI community taking a hit, and we're seeing far-right extremists punching down at a time when Canadians need us to unite, Canadians need us to be compassionate, and Canadians need us to be role models for what it means to live in a diverse and inclusive and pluralistic society. I grew up in a small Indigenous community. I learned a lesson in that community about what it means to be strong, what it means to grow together. Diverse forests are the best forests. Forests that can welcome anyone, and they can contribute their talents, their strengths, and their ideas, and that's what Canada is, a forest that is diverse and should welcome every single opinion so that we can make our country stronger. The potential issue of what took place yesterday in the House of Commons, to which I've asked the Speaker to investigate, is serious. A claim of homophobia that the Prime Minister felt as though he had an attack of a homophobic nature, and it's one that I would stand up on a point of order for any members of the House of Commons, for any of my colleagues. If and where hate takes place, we must have the courage to challenge it. And that's exactly what I did yesterday, and I hope that the Speaker will rule on this soon and come to a conclusion of not allowing this kind of vitriolic hatred that's manifesting in the House of Commons, because we're seeing it take place on the streets. I want to be really clear. A lot of Canadians right now are counting on us to be role models. They're needing us to be examples of decency, respect, and hard work. We have no time, while Canadians are struggling with the cost of living, to continue to squabble on far-right culture war, divisive issues when we have so much ahead of us. The Parliament needs to work, and it needs to actually get results for people. We have serious issues ahead of us that we need the courage to stand with dignity and respect for one another and all of our colleagues to getting the work of these serious issues done.
What did you actually hear being said, and who said it?
I want to refrain from answering that question directly, because I asked the Speaker of the House of Commons that question. It's up to members of Parliament, it's up to the Speaker actually, to address the question you're asking. That's what I asked him in the House of Commons, because what took place was one of my colleagues rose and said that they suffered a homophobic slur. If anyone in this room was told me that someone just said something homophobic to them, I would challenge that and ask for evidence and ask for an explanation. So that's what I asked the Speaker.
You didn't hear it, and you can't really say whether it's homophobic or not.
Well, I did hear it.
You did hear the remark.
I did hear the remark, but I want the Speaker to clarify and verify what was heard, because I want to take this issue seriously. It's important that we get the exact wording and the exact person who said it without speculating. I think that's fair to ask.
So if you actually heard it, did you go up to the individual who said it and ask that person, what did you mean by it, or are you leaving everything with the Speaker?
I want to leave everything to the Speaker to ensure that we have an accurate account of what took place, that we can come from a verified position to address the concerns and take them seriously. Look, these issues are really easy to politicize, whether they're in community or whether they're here in the House of Commons. I take my job very seriously. I speak to a lot of people every single day who face hate, who face discrimination, and who feel as though Canada is no longer a home for them. That breaks my heart. The best way to cut through that is to challenge it with fact, is to challenge it and confront it, and to hopefully get real accountability for those who spew hate. We need the Speaker to rule on this so that we can have an accurate account of what was said and who said it. I think that's a very fair and reasonable position for what was a very disruptive and difficult moment for parliamentarians yesterday.
But do you think the image that apparently is being ascribed to a Conservative MP, the idea that Tom Clark was in the bathtub with somebody else, maybe world leaders, maybe with the Prime Minister, is that inherently homophobic, or is that kind of sounds kind of like an editorial cartoon?
Well, if that's what you heard, of course, maybe.
That's what I heard on the tape, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you heard, of course, but I want to have a clear transcript from the Speaker, whose job it is to ensure decorum, and I'd be happy to take questions after we have a verifiable account of what took place. I just want to be serious about this issue and take a concerned issue, because I want the Speaker to make a ruling about it.
Is there any indication he won't?
He did say yesterday that he's going to take that under advisement, and he may return to the House, and so I'm encouraging my parliamentarian colleagues to take this issue seriously and to ensure that the Speaker of the House of Commons actually comes with a very reasonable request of the information we've asked for, would acknowledge our reasonable request for the information we asked for, which is a transcript from the Blues. There's people who get paid in the House of Commons to listen to every single word that was spoken. We must have a transcript. I reviewed the tape myself. I want to reserve my comments on what I thought I heard because that's a matter of debate right now. And so we need to have the same shared facts. That's how we combat disinformation, is making sure we have a verifiable fact to debate.
What do you think Canadians are thinking when they tune in to watch their elected representatives and they're making jokes about bathtubs and the Prime Minister's talking about defecating? I mean, does this not seem juvenile at a certain point and turn people off from politics in general, whether or not the comment was or may not have been homophobic?
I really appreciate that question. It's something I have to deal with deeply often, is this question as to whether or not we have the right place to debate the right issues with the right level of respect. And I'd say right now it's a really difficult position for parliamentarians because we're not even dealing with the same facts. We need to be role models for Canadians. We have a lot of people counting on us. They're facing one of the largest affordability crises they've ever had. They're facing hatred on their streets. We're seeing women harassed. We're seeing 2S LGBTQ kids in my province of Alberta being told they don't belong in schools. Like, this is serious. And we need to be able to be role models in this place. And we need to get over the personal attacks. We need to get over the spewing of these little comments that are seeking to divide the chamber and are seeking to create disruption. I know that we can work together. I used to represent an Indigenous government, and those are a very big gap to fill between Canada's institutions and Indigenous people. But I believe in that mission of bringing people together. That's what our treaties were founded on, of us coming together with respect, us coming together with honor, and trying to come to a place where everyone has a chance to benefit from this great country. Canada's an amazing place, but we have to make sure it stays that way.
When do you expect a ruling from the Speaker? Any idea?
I really hope it's today, which is why I'm coming to the mic. I really hope that we can have an explanation from the Speaker today. It would be immensely important that we challenge hatred when it is presented, and if that's what happened, we need to challenge it. If it's not what happened, of course, then we can dismiss this issue, but it's something that I take seriously, and I think Canadians take seriously because they're counting on us to be serious, they're counting on us to be respectful, and they're counting us to be role models. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that.